So from your 20 years of experience with the VA, what are some of the common disabilities that you've seen, like actual service-connected disabilities with regard to the eye?
Yeah. Well, Agent Orange exposure and diabetic retinopathy is certainly the highest one. And not everyone with Agent Orange exposure has diabetic retinopathy, right? We know the link of Agent Orange exposure and diabetes, but not every diabetic has eye problems. Not every diabetic has retinopathy. But certainly every diabetic should be checked annually for diabetic retinopathy, for problems in the eyes. And if we start to see a little bit of retinopathy, then we monitor the patient even closer. But very rarely should a diabetic go more than 2 years without getting his or her eyes checked, because the risk of damage from diabetes is so high with that disease. The other links from service connection injuries to the eyes are pretty varied and depend on the patient. Unfortunately, in the recent wars, traumatic brain injury is high on the list. And light sensitivity and focusing problems sometimes after exposure to a TBI can be very debilitating. And obviously any kind of shrapnel injuries to the eyes, that's very kind of like patient-specific, right?
Right.
But if they take an injury to this part or that part. Also, TBIs causing injuries to the brain. If you have an injury to the occipital lobe or the back part of the brain, say you take a fall, you hit the back of your head, maybe that part of your brain is damaged. Your eyeballs are okay, but that is where your vision is perceived in your brain.
So where it's being computed, it's not.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're seeing stuff that's not there.
Exactly. Or you're not seeing stuff that should be there. You have these blind spots or damage to the visual cortex. And so your eyes are okay. There's no problems with your retina, or you don't need glasses. But the signal being sent to the brain is just not being received because that part of the brain that the eyes plug into is damaged.
Kind of like a ocular migraine.
Yeah, but permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly.
Hey folks, connecting with your benefits is our primary mission, and the SITREP is providing more options than ever.
Subscribe to our free email newsletter, subscribe to our audio podcast channel, or subscribe to our content on YouTube.
For details and links, check out the description below.